How we doing today, folks? I'm in a nice, pretty moist little woodland here at the Indiana Dunes State Park. A lot of our spring ephemerals are finishing up. I'm out here, today I'm looking for a nice member of the Orobanchaceae, another parasite. It seems as though I've got a bit of a thing for the parasitic plants. I might have to watch that in my interpersonal relationships. Just kidding, I'm in a fulfilling one right now. It's nice, you know, it's good. Everything's good. It's all fine. Don't got to worry about it. Anyway, let's stop talking about nonsense and get into the plants, huh? So what we got right here is an old friend. We got Phlox divaricata, the woodland blue phlox. Polymoniaceae is the family there. Very nice. Take note of that opposite foliage. You get that a lot in the phlox family. A lot of really, really cool stuff going off in this woodland. Hopefully including that interesting Orobanchaceae parasite, the Conopholis. We've also got a lot of this guy. This lovely, look at that. Yeah, oh wow, I wasn't even pointing the camera at it. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, this is Trillium grandiflora, the big flowered trillium, you know. Great white trillium. Deer love to munch on this, so I'm really glad to see it out and about. You know, it's a pretty nice sign. There's another really cool plant. It's called dwarf ginseng that I wanted to show you. It was flowering pretty prolifically up here. Let me just meander my way through. It's pretty nice. Most of the trees in here, they're oaks, which is important for me to take note of because the parasite that I'm in search of, the Conopholis, its host plant is in fact large oak trees. You know, it patches its historia into the oak's root system, and it siphons off nutrients like that. You know, which is pretty interesting. Oh, look at that! Here's a Trillium grandiflora that's pink. Huh? How about that? That's pretty, isn't it? They usually don't look like that. Melanthiaceae is the family on these. In a carpet of Podophyllum peltatum, the May apples. That's in the barberry family, Berberidaceae. Here we go. Here's some of the Carex. Isn't that nice? Look at that little umbel of flowers with all the exerted stamens popping out. And there are the leaves. You can see that's why they call it trifolious. 3 leaves. Very nice. Those little globes. Like little, yeah, that's cute. Oh, I like that. Yeah, don't you like that? Don't you like the Carex? Got what appears to be a fraxinus sapling here. That's nice to see. Member of the Oleaceae, the olive family. That's what ashes are in. A lot of those have been hit really, really hard by an invasive species of beetle. If you're from the Midwest, you know all about that. You probably had some ash trees in your yard you had to take down. Yeah, that's the emerald ash borer. Agrillus planopennis did that. A lot of damage. But that's what happens when you get a non-native species in an area where they can, you know, take advantage of available niches. And of course the ashes hadn't evolved a defense mechanism. You know, I mean, like there were ashes actually. It's pretty cool. They're members of, oh, here's a nice one. This is a little vine. This guy's a member of the, this is a coffee family. This is Michella repens. I think it's called partridge berry. Nice, that's very cute. I think these are the leaves of a species of Nabalus, a really cool member of the Asteraceae. Oh, we got some sedge action. Real nice. This is looking like, I'm going to call this Carex communis, given the, yeah. Carex communis is one of the easier sedges to ID. Looks a little, sorry, I called that communis. Oh man, my bad. That's not Carex communis. This one is Carex pensylvanica. Okay, note the habit on this. Member of the Cyperaceae, of course, because we're dealing with a sedge in the genus Carex. So note the habit on this. See how these clumps are very, very small? A sedge that looks very similar like this in terms of its inflorescence structure. You know, with this kind of longer male flower and then the smaller female flowers at the base of it, is Carex communis. However, Carex communis, it'll be in like the mats that it forms, they're a lot bigger and more sprawling, more cespitose than what you get with Carex pensylvanica. So sorry about that. Carexes are a real, man, if you, yeah, Carexes will really kick your butt. They're a pain. I mean, I love them, but I almost wish I didn't because sometimes they annoy me so much. And, you know, I pull up my hair and it's all, oh God, it's just awful. You know, when you got 2,000 species, you know, it's pretty tough. You know, I'm rambling, but, you know, I'm really excited about maybe seeing this Conopholis. You know, because I've been seeing a lot of the dead stalks in this area. So I'll show you guys some of those. Yeah. And we'll, of course, be inspecting some of the other species. You can tell it's very moist through here, given the very heavy presence of Symplocarpus foetidus. Remember the Araceae? That's a really cool plant, thermogenic. Yeah, it's nice to see. Gotta love that. What is this? Is this the invasive rose or is this a native rose? Okay, this is the invasive rose right here. I'm going to teach you guys something about ID and invasive. So you see my index finger. Now you see, I'm actually going to rip this off because I don't care about this plant's health. I hope it dies and burns. But you see, all right, hang on. All right, so you see my index finger. Yeah, there you go. Now you see that kind of winged structure down at the base? That's what's known as a winged petiole. Okay, and now a lot of members in the rose family have that, but multiflora rose is different from the other native roses. So like a lot of the native roses, you know, they've got the same general leaf structure, you know, the nice compound leaves and all that. Usually odd pinnate, which means it terminates in a single leaflet rather than a pair. But so the petioles on the multiflora rose, as you can see, they're kind of fringed a little bit. It's got a little bit of the fringe, you know? Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see some of the petioles right there in the center. But yeah, but the native roses, like such as, I believe it's Rosa palustris, Rosa canis, Rosa arkansana. Oh, wow, hang on. Okay, I'll talk about them in a second. Let me focus on the roses. But the native roses, they do not have this same fringe. There you go. You can see it real nice. You can see how fringy that is, yeah? Like something you'd see on a nice leather jacket, perhaps. You know, my dad got a leather jacket one time, and we had to tell him that he couldn't wear it because it had this really weird eagle dragon thing on the back, and it looked like it looked like a goddamn like white power jacket. And so we had to tell him that he couldn't wear it, which kind of sucked because it was a nice jacket. But I don't know, maybe I'll get him another one or something. I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty neat. So that's how you distinguish the gross invasive rose, Rosa multiflora, from the nice native species of rose. Now this is a really cool one right here, these white ones. This is in the Liliaceae. What we got right here is Erythronium albidum, the white trout lily. You know, it's got the 6 tepals. You call those, you see, when you can't distinguish the sepals and the petals, you call that inflorescence style a tepals, and you get that in the Liliaceae a lot. As you can see, I'm going to turn one around so we can talk about the reproductive morphology. You see that white thing with the 3 lobes in the middle? That is a trilobed stigma. It's kind of fuzzy, you see? And that's the structure that receives the pollen, and then connecting it to the base, what connects it to the ovary, which is the final part of the female anatomy. There's 3 parts. There's the stigma, the style, and the ovary. And the style is what the sperm travels down to fertilize the ovary when pollen eventually lands on that stigma, causing the plant to produce seed. So that's pretty neat, you know. You just gotta take note of all these structures, because you know a lot of the lilies do have that nice trilobed stigma. It's a pretty good sign, you know. You can look at things like that in plants, so just try to take note of like the little commonalities that you see. You know, they can be helpful. Oh yeah, look at this. This is pretty nice. What we got right here? We got a nice geranium maculata in the Geraniaceae. It's very cute with the 5 fused petals. Pretty nice. Oh man, it's damp out here. And an abundance of, oh man, this is some kind of ranunculus through here. This little yellow guy. Let me find one in okay, there we go, up here. Alright, yeah. I don't know, I think this might be like, maybe like Septen realis? I don't know. I'm gonna have to key this out. It might be... I don't think it's Ranunculus hispidus because it's not very pubescent. Interesting. Ah, nice. Got a different member of the Ranunculaceae right here. This is thalictroides. Very cute, rue anemone. Check out the nice lobed leaves there. Ooh, very nice. Very pretty. You know, it's raining, but you don't really mind when you've got all this nice, cool stuff to check out. And here's another, there's quite a few. The Ranunculaceae is a pretty diverse family. So here's another one. We got Anemone quinquefolia. The kinky anemone. That's what I call it, because I just, you know, common names aren't real. So you just, you make up common names to help you remember the scientific names. You see they call it quinquefolia because you got right there 5 leaves. Pretty nice. They also call it the wood anemone. I like the kinky anemone better though. All right, so we're starting to run up into some of the, oh God. Is that a condom? I hate. Oh man. yeah, anyway, sorry about that. Right, so where was I? Right, so I'm getting kind of into the area where I've seen some of the dead Conopholis heads. So I'm probably gonna do a nice little pause and scan around for them. As you can see, there's a real bunch of that Panax trifolius, you know, the dwarf ginseng. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. So I'm just gonna take a little second here and go try to find some of these Conopholis. I'll be right back, yeah? Unfortunately, this area doesn't seem to have any that are up yet, but here are some of the remnants of the Conopholis americana. You can see it's very, very weird. It looks like a pine cone almost, you see? All these weird scaly bracts and stuff. And if I can find one that's still got the seeds on it, they got these little capsules that are just full of tons of very small seeds. As you can see here, you know, some of these got some of the little ball-shaped structures on them, you know? Like this guy right here. Here's a good one. As you can see in between my fingers, this little capsule right here, if I can pinch one off. These are the structures, and they contain all kinds of seeds. And then they, you know, they parasitize these oaks that are all throughout here. Members of the genus Quercus. So that's pretty neat. You know, unfortunate that none of them are up, but I do know another population that was even more dense with Conopholis than here. So I don't know, maybe one of them are up earlier or something. I don't know, I'm gonna have to go back and check, get a bit more soggy. But you know, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices, you know? That's what it's all about. Oh yeah, all this Panax and this Anemone, oh, it's nice. Just a nice carpet of the cute little white flowers all over the forest floor, you know? Makes you feel good, even if it is a bit damp in the rain, you know? It's okay. You'll be fine. Probably. I don't think I'll get hypothermia. I don't know. I shouldn't. Huh. Alright, let's go try to find some more Conopholis or see some other cool stuff. Oh god. Getting double pissed on because I'm under a shrub. But so what we got right here is here's the larger colony of that Conopholis, and you can actually see some of them beginning to come up. See these little things right here that look like a fungus? This weird scaly stuff? That is the flower for Conopholis americana. And you can see there's no green on that structure. You can see there's a bunch of them down in there. Oh, that's so cool. Look at those scaly bracts. I'm gonna have to come back in like a week or so and see these things if they're more mature, or maybe I'm just gonna keep looking and see if I can find a later population. But there you go, there's a teaser on that Conopholis. I knew it. I knew if I came to this bigger colony I'd have some more luck. So that's very, very cool. Very happy to see that. It's in amongst a whole bunch of this guy right here, a member of the Asparaceae, in particular the Nolanoideae subfamily, which is the subfamily that includes, you know, your Solomon seals and your false Solomon seals and such. This one is Myanthemum canadens, the Canada Mayflower. If you feel on the back side of this leaf, it's nice and pubescent. Ugh. Jeez. God, nice. Okay. Well, I'm very happy to see that, you know. I do. Yeah, I am a big fan of the, oh, wow. As you can see, another big colony of them. And they're the little babies. Oh, that's so cool. These things are awesome when they get bigger. Oh, man. They get to be about, you know, like as you can see, like a couple inches tall. So, you know, they're pretty noticeable. If you see them, you might think they're a fungi because, as I said, they, you could see there they had no green on them, which means they're achlorophyllous, which I'm sure you can guess means that they don't contain chlorophyll. And if you're a plant and you don't contain chlorophyll, you can't photosynthesize, so you got to find another way to get your food, and the way members of the Orobanchaceae facilitate that is through parasitism. I think I might have said before, but I'm pretty sure all the members in the Orobanchaceae are parasitic. Either hemiparasitic or holoparasitic. Oh, it's a nice Trillium family get-together, huh? What we got right here? Ooh. These are the leaves that belong to a Arisaema triphyllum. Remember the Araceae, same family as skunk cabbage, jack in the pulpit. Pretty neat. And then this guy, this red Trillium right here with these heavily reflexed bracts. Okay? This is Trillium recurvatum, with those sepals bent back and the nice pedicel on the leaves and such. Very, very nice. And of course the Trillium grandiflora just hanging out, being a wonderful addition to the forest floor diversity here. There's also quite a bunch of the, this is Allium tricoccum or the tricoccum variety, the wide leaf variety. Again, you can distinguish them based on that red leaf base. We'll see if we can find some of the narrow leaf variety. Maybe, I don't know. Here's another member in the Nolanoideae subfamily, the Asparagaceae. This is what appears to be Polygonatum biflora, judging by the glaucous, or the glabrous surface of these leaves. Very nice. You'll hear about false Solomon seals and true Solomon seals. And what that distinction is really referring to is the difference between two genera in that Nolanoideae subfamily. It's the distinction between the genera of Myanthemum and the genus. God, using the plural form to talk about a singular object. No wonder it's all weird. So there's a genus in the Nolanoideae called Myanthemum, and there's a genus Polygonatum. Polygonatum, that is what the true Solomon seals are, and then Myanthemum is the false Solomon seals. And you can distinguish those two genera because the Myanthemums, you know, they flower at the terminal end of the plant, whereas the Polygonatums, they flower in the plant's axils, you know, so where the leaf meets the stem, whereas the Myanthemum flowers all the way at the end, and that's the only place. So yeah, there you go. That's what so that's how you can tell your false Solomon seals and your true Solomon seals, your Myanthemums and your Polygonatums apart, you know. Pretty neat, pretty neat. Here's another nice member of the Berberidaceae. These guys are unfortunately they're almost done flowering, or well, yeah, these guys are closing up shop. This is Caulophyllum thalictroides. Let me see if I can find one with slightly better flowers than that. Here we go. We can take a nice look at this one. Oh yeah, just get in there, nice. Don't you like that? It's pretty nice, isn't it? And again, this is in the same family as you know, the mayapple. And you can see why they call it thalictroides, because these leaves do look highly reminiscent of the leaves of that thalictrum that we saw earlier, you know, with the lobing. Obviously, it's a much taller, and you know, the plant, oh man, the flowers are totally different, but you know, it kind of, you know, there's a similarity for sure. Nice. Oh yeah, it's a pretty nice bunch of woodland. You know, keeping my eyes on the forest floor, looking for the weird tan coloration of the Conopholis. Oh man, that's a lot of rain. It's nice though, because that means, yeah, it means no one's gonna be out here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, let's go see what I can get. Oh yeah, what we got right here, I haven't seen one of these this year yet, but there's actually quite an abundance of it throughout this area. This is a Mitella diphylla, two-leaved bishop's cap. Or they're in the, this is in the Saxifrage family? Saxifrageaceae? Pretty interesting. They look like little snowflakes on the flowers. And you can identify it very easily because Mitella diphylla, it's usually, most of its leaves are basal. You know, you can see the basal leaves down here. Got some nice lobing in there. Very, very toothed, kind of coarsely. But up on the stem is very pubescent, as you can see. But they've only got one pair of, well, sessile leaves right there. Pretty nice. And as you can see, it's a very pretty little flower, you know. Get up in there. They look like little snowflakes almost, huh? Oh yeah, the Mitella. Pretty happy to see that. I hadn't seen that this year. You know, and there is a bunch of it down in here around this tree, which is pretty nice. There's also, unfortunately, this jackass. This is Berberis thunbergii, by the way, folks. This is the member of the Berberidaceae, which is not nice. Go to hell. I got right here is Polysticum acrostichoides. This is one of the ferns that I actually know how to identify. They call it Christmas fern. See if we got any sori on them. I don't know if it's the right time. You can see the fiddleheads coming up. Very, very cute. They call it Christmas fern because if you look at the individual leaflet, you know, and you look at it sideways, it kind of looks like a Christmas stocking a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Then it's got this nice green rachis. It's an evergreen fern too, so nice and identifiable. As I've said many times, probably I'm not too good at my ferns, which is unfortunate because they are a really cool group of plants. I wish I was. Yeah, I got to get better at them. You know, there's no excuses. I'm just I don't know. God, all this Berberis. What a gross plant. Better not put that in your landscaping after you watch this video. You're gonna, or man, I'm gonna set your house on fire probably. I don't know. I guess I'd have to find out where you live first, but you know, don't really think about that. Just focus on the threat and doing what I say, not the logistics thereof. I mean, you had to expect it because I said I was in kind of a moist area. Here you go. Here's a lovely, lovely Senecio aurea, member of the Asteraceae. Now remember the floral morphology on the asters. It's a bit confusing, you know, because you think that all these individual little flower heads, you think that's all one flower, right? Like this thing right here, this is one flower. Incorrect. There's probably about like 30 or 40 flowers in there. So you got, of course, your let me get a nice one in between my fingers for us here. Let me move you. Nice. So what we got right here in the center there, well, actually we'll start with the ray florets. So the ray florets, that's these long oblong yellow ones you see right here. Pretty nice. And then those surround the disc florets, which are all those individual dots that you can see there. So all those are individual flowers forming one capitula, a flowering head, which is the inflorescence type that you get in the Asteraceae, which is, of course, an absolutely incredible family. Some real cool plants in this. Oh yeah, gotta love that. Ah man, a lot of the equisetum in here, Equisetum arvens. Ouch. Ah geez, we got a sedge right here, folks. Oh man, I already know which two species I'm. Yep, of course. I'm so bad at this. It's this is either Carex lacustris or Aquatilis through here. These two are extremely similar. I think the way you tell them apart is like the length of the terminal bract on one of the species is longer than the male inflorescence, and then on the other one it's shorter. This one appears to be the shorter, which I think might actually be stricta. Maybe. Not 100% sure. Carexes are hard, but again, you know, it's a good thing, even though it is really annoying to deal with them. I'm not going to be able to get through that. Even though it is really, really annoying to deal with the Carexes, you know, it's still it's a good way to kind of familiarize yourself with keys. And plus, if you can deal with these incredibly annoying and very, very similar looking plants between species, you know, there's really no group of plants that you can't tango with, you know? I mean, when you got 2,000 species in the genus, you know, it's a lot of work, but the dividends you're gonna reap, you know, there's dividends, which can be reaped, like knowing about Carex, which is a dividend. Oh man, maybe Bromus? No idea. Third species of Carex, that one, don't know. Oh man, they're just so tough, and I just you know, I just got to spend a couple days sitting down with a nice Carex key and familiarizing myself with the regional species and whatnot. Oh god, all this Senecio, isn't that gorgeous? Wow, the Asteraceae, lovely. Oh man, nice and swampy. Oh yeah. So I was walking down this little path here, which is the same path that I messed with a northern water snake out here once, and it bit me a couple times. It was pretty fun. But what I found was this wonderful plant right here. This is Thalictroides dioecium, the early meadow rue. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think that this plant is actually dioecious. Or, no, sorry, monoecious maybe. Because it looks like all these flowers here, looks like they're all staminate, you know? And I'm looking through it right now. Oh, wait a minute. No. Yeah, I'm swiping through these and I'm not actually seeing any female flowers. So I think what we got here is a monoecious plant, which means that it has male and female plants, which is to say that in your monoecious species, which means, no, sorry, Okay. Start from the top. Thalictrum dioecium. It's a oh, that's why it's dioecium. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is dioecious. Okay, so dioecious, that's Greek, it means two house. And what you get in dioecious plants are you get male plants and female plants. A male plant only produces male flowers, female plant only produces female flowers. Another common example is cannabis. You know, you get male cannabis plants and female. But, so you got dioecious, like this guy. You also have monoecious plants, which will have, that means that's one house where you have the male and female reproductive structures in separate flowers, but they're on the same plant. So a lot of like your wind-pollinated trees will do that. Carexes, a lot of the time, are monoecious because they've got their flowers organized separately into male and female, separate male and female flowers. And then the last sort of flower that you get is it's a hermaphroditic, where the male and female flowers are in the same structure, and that's what you get in something like your typical flower, where you've got all your stamens and your stigmas all together in one, you know? And that's Geranium maculata again. So that was pretty cool. Let's actually get another, there's quite a lot of that. I don't know, maybe we can find a female one and compare them. But it's very, very, you know, it's quite a weird looking plant, isn't it? You know, all these pendant anthers. Look at these, huh? Isn't that weird? Wow. Thalictrum dioecium. You're a freak, buddy. In the best way. I think, oh man, that's cool. I think I might have actually figured out why its name is what it is. Wow. It's nice when they name it for a good reason like that. All right. Ah, nice. Here we go. Here's something pretty cool to talk about. This is one of the very few mosses that I can actually identify. So what you want to get for reference is a scale. So basically a segment of my finger is about 1 inch long. So you can see these guys, these plants are about 1 inch in diameter, you know, pretty neat. This is a, oh God, I just like touching it. It feels so nice. This is a species of Climacium, a tree moss. I believe it's Climacium americanum. Not 100% sure. Mosses confuse the absolute hell out of me. I've tried to learn a couple, and I know like 3 genera, maybe. They're hard, but Climacium's really cool, and it's very easy to identify because it's just such a giant moss. So, you know, if you're looking for mosses getting identified, look somewhere else, because I can only do like Climacium and maybe polytrichum and atrichum. You know, I'm very bad at my mosses. I don't know. I gotta, yeah, whatever. You know, it's a journey, I guess. I gotta figure out what the deal is with the bryophytes, which is annoying. But yeah, so Climacium there, pretty cool. I don't know the family. I don't really know nothing about mosses. Mosses don't have vascular tissue. That is one thing that differentiates them. You see, mosses they're actually from an even more primitive lineage of plants than the seedless vascular plants like your ferns. You know, so the way it typically gets drawn up, the development of plants, is that you've got your seedless non-vascular plants, which is like your bryophytes, your mosses, your hornworts, your liverworts. You know, plants like that. And then what was next to evolve would have been the seedless vascular, which would be, you know, your ferns, your lycopods, your selaginellas, all those really neat guys. What came next were the gymnosperms, the naked seed vascular. And then after that came the angiosperms, which is the covered seed vascular. And there you go. That's a very generalized and almost oversimplified evolution of land plants, I guess. You know, but those are the 4 major lineages of plants that you get into. Pretty nice. As you can see, a whole bunch of this wonderful Araceae triphyllum. In case all that moss stuff was boring for you. Pretty cool. God, it looks like a Sarracenia, doesn't it? Oh man, God, I hope they man, there's a bog around here that's got a bunch of Sarracenias in it. I hope they open it up, because I really want to check out that area. Bet it's real neat. They only do guided tours though, so gotta wait for that. Man, what a time. So it's seeming that the hunt for the Conopholis is going to be unsuccessful. I guess I am too early again, unfortunately. You know, I'm always jumping the gun on my phenology because I get too excited. There is another pretty cool member of the Orobanchaceae in through this stretch, though. If I can find some of the flowers that I saw earlier. This is, oh, there. Okay, I walked right past them. This is Pedicularis canadensis. You know, I showed you guys this one in the Miller Woods video. It's another hemiparasitic member of the Orobanchaceae. Very, very weird inflorescences here with this whorled structure. It's pretty neat, though, isn't it? Then it starts at the bottom and it'll flower all the way to the top. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Then, you know, you got these leaves, which are very, very heavily dissected. A little bit leathery, kind of coriaceous, you know? Oh, yeah. Some violas, man, violas are hard. I try to ID them, but they annoy me. They're all so little. Some of them are pretty cute. I like Viola pedata a lot, but look at the size of some of these wood betonies. As you can see, all these leafy bracts. People coming up on me, gonna think I'm insane for talking to a plant. Time to go then. Nice. Have a good one, folks.